There are countries now who are demanding trillions of pounds in reparations today from British taxpayers for supposed sins of hundreds of years ago. I want to make the first point, which is...
So imagine your ancestors were once enslaved, and today all that you are asking for is justice.
If we have a reformed government, Nigel's the Prime Minister, I'm the Home Secretary, any country that makes such a demand, we will respond by putting an immediate halt in further visa issuances to nationals from that country.
But instead, you are being told that you could lose access to visa if you continue to ask for reparations.
There are countries now who are demanding trillions of pounds in reparations today from British taxpayers for supposed sins of hundreds of years ago.
And so has the question that, is the world punishing countries for asking for reparations? But in the same time, voices like El Busquet are rising and are questioning it.
They asked them for visas when they arrived, and it is damn insulting that 500 years later they want to hold against us.
Guys, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favour and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
Zaya Yusuf is a senior figure and a high-profile donor for the Reform UK. As of April 2026, he serves as the Home Affairs spokesperson for the Reform UK and has been central to the party's operations as a former chairman from July 2024 to June 2025. Now,
here's an insane stat for you. 1 in every 25 people wandering around in Britain arrived in the last 5 years. I'm Zia Yusuf, Reform UK Shadow Home Secretary. Britain has been overwhelmed by immigration, both legal and illegal. More people have turned up on our beaches uninvited over the last 7 years than stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. And when they arrive illegally, they get free accommodation, free healthcare, free taxis, free leisure activities costing billions of pounds a year, all funded by you, the British taxpayer. And that's just illegal migration. Since David Cameron was elected Prime Minister, immigration has added the equivalent of the populations of Edinburgh, Leeds, Sheffield, Nottingham, Stoke, Bristol and Cardiff put together. The Tories promised to cut immigration down to the tens of thousands in 4 consecutive manifestos and then allowed in 12 million people in their 14 years. And they built just 400 prison places to cope and left the country with fewer hospital beds. The population explosion has broken our country. The Boris wave is about to inflict fiscal disaster on Britain. 4 million people who Boris let in, half of whom do not work and never will, are about to receive indefinite leave to remain, which means they get lifetime access to the welfare state at your expense. We will abolish indefinite leave to remain, and those who do not speak English, those who do not contribute economically, and those who commit crime will no longer be welcome in our country. Our culture is being eroded and Islamist extremism has gained a foothold in Britain. In fact, a convicted Islamist terrorist is currently running for office in Birmingham. Enough. Reform will leave the ECHR, which is currently being used to give illegal migrants hundreds of thousands of pounds of taxpayer money because the Home Office confiscated their mobile phones. We'll also derogate from every international treaty that prevents deportation. We will stop the boats and we will embark on a mass deportation program. If you are in this country illegally, you will be detained and you will be deported. We will ensure that those who come to do harm to our country, to subvert or overthrow our laws, are also deported. This is a great country full of great people, badly let down by a political class that have failed in their most basic duty to secure and defend our borders and keep British people safe. As Home Secretary and with Nigel as our Prime Minister, our Reform government will make Britain proud, prosperous and powerful.
He was the one captured in this viral video. He suggests that countries that are demanding reparations could face consequences, and people are asking that is this the UK government position or just one man's opinion?
There are countries now who are demanding trillions of pounds in reparations today from British taxpayers for supposed sins of hundreds of years ago. I want to make the first point, which is that Britain was the first major power to prohibit and outlaw slavery and then spent the equivalent of billions of pounds in today's money and sacrificed thousands of its own Navy sailors' lives in upholding and enforcing that law on the high seas through the West Africa Squadron, which it formed in 1808. And for countries to now be turning up and demanding reparations, quite simply, it is a racket, and we will not allow ethnic grievances to continue to be laundered inside this country. So what we have said is no more. Gone are the days when Tory and Labour governments have granted 3.8 million visas to countries, to nationals of the countries who were making these demands over the last 20 years. They paid them £6.6 billion in aid, with a B, £6.6 billion in aid over the last 20 years. They're still making these insane demands. So what we're saying is, if we have a reformed government, Nigel's the Prime Minister, I'm the Home Secretary, any country that makes such a demand, we will respond by putting an immediate halt in further visa issuances to nationals from that country. And Jeremy, you know we've already announced that we would scrap foreign aid. We're going to stand up for Britain. We're not going to allow this great country to be slapped around and ridiculed on the world stage without response.
Now, according to him, countries that are fighting for reparations or fighting for the Western countries to pay them reparations. So if you don't know, during the slave trade, there were some countries that championed it. And that was also, led to a number of things. So it's not only the UK. We have America, who refused to vote. We have a number of countries in the Caribbean, in Europe, in America. A number of them. But this man is fighting for power. Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica, and Barbados. But in the same time, voices like El Busquet are rising and are questioning it.
The St. Lucia National Reparations Committee has strongly condemned recent statements by the UK Reform Party, suggesting that governments seeking formal reparations from Britain could face a visa ban. This restriction, the party claims, would apply to all types of visas, including visitor, student, and work permits. St. Lucia is among several countries in the region and the world that has made calls for former colonial powers to pay reparations for slavery, which the UN General Assembly has recognized as the gravest crime against humanity.
We did not ask Columbus and the Europeans who came to conquer our part of the world for Britain. We didn't ask them for visas when they arrived. And it is damn insulting that 500 years later, they want to hold against us the visas that we ought not to require as former subjects of the United Kingdom. The people who rebuilt Britain after the Second World War, when citizens of Britain refused to build back their own country.
Busquet says that countries must not only demand reparations for slavery and native genocide, but unpaid labor done by the Windrush generation that rebuilt Britain after the war. The UK Reform Party has stated that the UK made, quote, huge sacrifices to end the slave trade and described calls for British taxpayers to pay compensation as insulting. The party also argued that Britain has paid reparations through billions of visas issued to former colonies and billions in foreign aid over the years. In 2015, then UK Prime Minister David Cameron visited Jamaica and declared that the United Kingdom would not respond positively to demands for reparations, outlining similar reasons as the UK Reform Party. However, Busquet highlights two discoveries made during that visit regarding the United Kingdom and reparations.
Number one was that Britain's payment of reparations to the slave owners, the £20 million that was paid to the slave owners from 1834. Britain only finished paying that in 2015, while David Cameron was in the Caribbean. And it was also possible to disclose while he was in Jamaica that his family, the family of David Cameron, the Prime Minister, had owned 500 slaves in Jamaica that he had never accounted for or disclosed.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has described the situation as very unfortunate.
Let's see how it develops. Could be normal political rhetoric from right-wing parties, but we hope that that's not true. We hope so. But I don't say about these things because I don't die. We have to fight it. But
now, here's what many people are not telling you. So right now, there is no official UK policies that says that visitors of those countries who ask for reparations are going to be stopped, or their visas are not going to be issued. Now, this man is a political figure. So if you're Ghanaian, you are watching this, take this man as an NPP member who is advocating that if NPP comes to power, then they are going to do this, they are going to stop it, they are going. So see this man like that. So this is not the official communication of the United Kingdom, no. But it is from a man in a political party who is saying that if I win power, this is what I'll do. Now, another thing you should also know that this statement is coming from a political voice, not official government action. And that changes everything. So just like Nigeria is preparing to go for elections, so the opposition party will say that when we come to power, we're going to make sure that any country that applied for reparations will not give them visas. Just like that same situation. A lot of countries are now playing with politics, especially in the UK. A lot of them, the candidates are playing. When I come, I will extend getting UK residency to 10 years. Something like Bednock is one of them. And a number of them are playing with politics because it looks like it appeals to the sensitivity of the people. When you talk about immigration, when you talk about I will deport them, when you talk about I won't allow migrants, you understand? Then the people are like, yo, this is the man, we will vote for you. You understand? So all of them are playing politics with that. But let's be clear that statement like this can shift perception, because for people in Africa and the Caribbean, this is personal. Your grandparents lived in the history and we are living the consequences, and now you are being told to stay quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet. But men like El Busquet are not asking for favors. In fact, they are asking for accountability, and that is what makes this conversation uncomfortable globally. So what is your take on the whole story? Leave your comment in the comment section. Do you think the UK and other countries should punish, or they should cut visas to countries that push for reparations, or you think it's not fair? Leave your comment in the comment section. It's a wrap for today.